Guys, what's up? It's Charlie here, and today we're going to be looking at 10 people who took laziness to another level. So, do you consider yourself a lazy person? If you guys think being lazy means sitting around and watching Netflix all day, then be prepared to see these people. These guys are on another level, as their laziness actually is slightly genius too. But before we get into it, don't be lazy. Press the notification bell and subscribe too. Lazy gym. So one thing you don't associate with gyms is laziness. It's always a lot of effort to go to the gym, and usually when people start to go to the gym in the new year, they simply get lazy and stop by February. Well, if you check out this 24-hour fitness gym, you'll see that some lazy people are going there. As you can see, there are 2 mini escalators just to get up to the gym. Surely this makes absolutely no sense. There's only like 15 stairs there, and if you can't walk up 15 stairs, why are you going to the gym anyways? Then again, maybe that's why you need to go to the gym. Either way, I have no idea why this gym does this. At least they shouldn't have an up and down escalator. Then once you've got fit in the gym, you should be able to walk down the stairs. If you guys have ever seen a lazier gym than this, then let me know. College student. So one group of people known for being very lazy yet very resourceful are college students. Well, I think this photo probably proves that. One day a guy walked into his dorm and saw his friend doing this. As you can see, he was sitting on a box using his desk computer. Now you may think this is reasonable as he just doesn't have a chair. But if you look at what's actually inside the box, it's literally a box with a chair inside. This guy was simply too lazy to unpack this chair and set it up. So instead he just sits on a box chair rather than the chair inside the box. I have to say this is very resourceful, but at least it does save space. Maybe this guy's lazy so he has an assignment to do but doesn't have time to unbox the chair. Dad invention. So there's nothing better than kicking back with a beer on a hot summer's day. Everyone likes relaxing with a beer in their backyard, especially middle-aged men. But many middle-aged men have responsibilities like jobs and families. For example, one father had to look after his daughter one day. She wanted to go out in the backyard and swing on their swing set. But the dad wanted to kick back with a cold one, so he came up with this lazy yet innovative idea. He simply tied a piece of string to the swing and then sat back. He can then relax with his beer and play with his daughter without lifting a finger. Or should I say, by just lifting a finger. Is lazy mom. So one group of people who often aren't lazy are moms. After all, they have to care for their kids and do a whole lot of stuff. And some moms even have to maintain their job while looking after kids. Well, one day a 21st century lazy mom who was clearly in a hurry decided to push her stroller in an odd way. As you can see, instead of walking, she leapt on a Segway and then pushed the stroller from the Segway. When this went viral, some people said this mom's being pretty dangerous. But if you're lazy enough, this simply is not a concern. I have to say this image is pretty funny. Who knows, maybe this mom's working a lot of jobs and looking after many kids. But then again, it takes a special type of thinking to come up with this. Lazy filler. So one chore nobody likes doing is going and getting their gas. Not only do you have to pay a ton of money for the gas, but you also have to pump it up. Well, one day a guy had to pump some gas but didn't want to get out of his car. So instead he did something I call the lazy filler. He simply got his friend to hang out the back window and fill up their gas like this. Some people say this guy's being pretty dumb. But if you really don't want to leave your car, then this is the best way to do it. What do you guys think? Is this guy lazy or lazy and genius? Taking out the trash. So this is another chore people simply don't like to do. Pulling a trash can down the road can be kind of annoying, but we all have to do it. But some people just hate to walk, including this guy. Somebody caught their neighbor once taking out their trash in their car. I don't think I've ever seen anyone as lazy as this before. I think this actually looks harder than simply moving your trash by foot. All this guy had to do was walk to his driveway, and unless your driveway is the size of Bill Gates's, that shouldn't be a problem. I admit, some people on this list have been lazy geniuses, but this man is not one of them. Security. So at your job, how alert do you have to be? If you work in an office job, it's likely fine if you're a little bit tired in the morning. Lots of people who work in offices say they get bored at work, and sometimes even take time out to check on their phone. But when you're a security guard, you need to be alert 24/7. You have to make sure nothing's kicking off and have to be eagle-eyed. If you look at this security guard, it looks like he knows exactly what's going on. But if you go around to the side of the security guard, you'll see it's actually a cardboard cutout. And behind the cutout, the real security guard is far from alert. This guy's out cold asleep on the job. This guy probably gets paid around $40,000 a year to do this. But really, this company should just get this cardboard cutout for free. This guy is a true ninja, and if you look closely, you'll see the cardboard cutout lines up exactly with the rest of the stores. Even though this guy's fast asleep, I don't think there'll be any trouble with this very convincing cardboard cutout. DIY Bluetooth. So they're not used so much anymore, but back in the early 2000s, a wireless headset was awesome. You could answer the phone totally hands-free. But nowadays, people simply don't use Bluetooths and they look kind of stupid. But one day somebody wanted to use their phone hands-free, so they did this. As you can see, they simply plugged it in and put the wire over their head. This way they can talk into their phone and still time. This is a totally different definition to the word headphone. And as you can see, another guy here who's not quite as resourceful tried this out. He used an elastic band, put it around his head, and then slipped his phone in like this. I think I prefer the guy charging his phone over his head. Although make sure you're bold if you do this, as you'll get much better grip. Christmas tree. So one thing that takes a lot of effort is Christmas. From buying all your gifts to cooking a Christmas meal, it's a ton of effort, and lazy people hate it. Well, one big part of Christmas that takes a lot of time and effort is setting up a Christmas tree and decorating. Well, one day somebody who's lazy and cheap decided to do this instead. He simply got one of those car fragrance trees and hung it up in his living room. Don't worry, he still put gifts underneath it. But something tells me with this, you're not going to be having a very merry Christmas. These guys clearly have enough to buy a tree seeing as they bought all those presents. But this proves that no matter how much money you have, if you're lazy, you can still do something insane like this. Some of the things on this list have been lazy but resourceful, but I don't think this is even resourceful. Suck it up. If you guys live high up in an apartment building, you know there's nothing worse than walking up and down the stairs all the time. Not only does it take a long time, it's like a workout walking up all those flights of stairs. Well, one day a guy was hanging up his laundry to dry when suddenly it fell off his balcony. He thought he'd have to walk all the way down to go get it. But this guy is a lazy genius, so that was not an option. Instead, he grabbed a vacuum cleaner and hovered it over the balcony. He then used this to suck his shirt back up to his balcony. I have to say, this looks harder than just walking down the stairs. But if you're a lazy genius, going the obvious route is never a question. Check out the poll in the top right corner to vote for the laziest person on this list. I think it's the lazy gymmers. That is such a contradiction. If you guys want more awesome videos, then check out my second channel. There'll be a link to that on screen in a moment. But as always, thanks for watching. Check out some more videos on screen right now. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe.